Now Eminem.
Eminem is responsible for Tupac's murder.
It's been 25 years and counting, and the only thing anyone can say for sure about the 1996 murder case of rap star Tupac Shakur is that it just keeps going from bad to worse. The police have been doing some investigations, and apparently Keefe D wasn't the only one involved in Tupac's murder. Eminem finds himself amidst the whole drama, and it could just be the end for the rap god. Keep watching till the end of this video to see just in Eminem arrested in Tupac's murder case. Trust me, you don't want to miss this.
Before we get into the video, I want to give a quick shout out to the #1 celebrity jeweler, the Ice Champ. The Ice Champ is doing a special deal for the next 24 hours on diamond watches, chains, and more. Follow at The Ice Champ on Instagram now.
Eminem tried to kill Suge Knight after Tupac's death. It's common knowledge that at one point Suge Knight was one of the scariest and most intimidating figures in hip-hop. However, after the decline of Death Row Records and his possible involvement in the deaths of Tupac and Biggie, Knight's reputation started to dwindle, making him unwelcome in many of the circles he had once been in. Eminem has had many memorable feuds over the years, from his beef with Source magazine owner Benzino to his battle with rapper Machine Gun Kelly. However, one of his lesser-known feuds was with Death Row's Suge Knight. In a recent Instagram Live, former G-Unit rapper Bang'em Smurf reveals why Eminem nearly fought Suge Knight in a bulletproof vest. In the tell-all social media sit-down, the rapper disclosed to his followers that in 2003, Suge Knight had shown up to a 50 Cent video shoot for In Da Club unannounced. According to Smurf, he was receiving a haircut at the time Knight arrived, so heard word about his arrival through a friend, stating, "I'm all the way back in the trailer getting a haircut and shit, so Shamoney XL call me like, yo, Suge on the set." Detailing his reaction, Smurf recalls, "I threw the cape off and shit. I'm starstruck at the time, cause this is my first time seeing Suge." However, Knight did not receive them all so well. Tensions between Knight, G-Unit, and Dr. Dre were coming to a head, and according to Smurf, the hostility was palpable. Firmly ready to fight 50 Cent's corner, Smurf detailed, "I ran to the side like, yo, this Suge outside. What do you want me to do, blow his head off?" But on reflection, admitted he was a hyper at the time. According to the rapper, Eminem, who had been outside at the time of Knight's arrival, came back with the vest, declaring, "It was like a standoff. I know it sounds like a made-up movie, but it's really true. I just remember M and 50 was like, 'What's up, man? What you want to do?'" According to Smurf, the former Death Row Records CEO had turned up merely to do intimidation-type shit and left shortly after he arrived with 30 Mexican crew members. Suge Knight wanted to get his revenge. Suge Knight allegedly tried to have rapper Eminem, who was signed to Dr. Dre's rival label Aftermath Entertainment, killed on 2 separate occasions. According to Eminem's former bodyguard, Byron Big Nas Williams, the first incident took place in 2001 at the Source Hip Hop Awards. "There was a situation at the Source Awards," said Big Nas in an interview with Murder Master Music Show. "It was our first encounter with Suge Knight and his henchmen. They had it to where the artist couldn't sit with the bodyguards. I think that was by design, because I think they really wanted the artist to be able to network with each other. But it also gives people who got beef with other artists to get at them." Big Nas said he noticed that Eminem was in the aisle and was fighting off some guys who were wearing red shirts. When they approached Eminem, they claimed that they were representing Death Row Records and were apparently sent by Suge Knight himself to beat up Eminem. Big Nas immediately rushed into the scene and dragged Eminem out of the situation. Getting him to safety, he called Dr. Dre and his bodyguards to inform them that Suge Knight and his goons were around. "I said, look, I need you all to have that car around when I call you." But the way they had it set up, the limos can only stay seated for like 30 seconds at a time in front of the red carpet for security reasons. So, long story short, we ended up going backstage. Eminem did his presentation, and we had to watch out for guys backstage, Big Nas recalled. Narrating further, he said the atmosphere was too tense to move around casually. He, Dr. Dre, and Dr. Dre's bodyguard went on full beast mode, trying to protect Eminem from Suge Knight's goons. There was no room for fans who wanted to get an autograph or try to talk to Eminem. All they wanted to do was finish the show and get everyone to safety. On a second occasion, Eminem was on tour with his wife and a few friends when another incident happened. As soon as their plane touched ground in Hawaii, he was welcomed by 20 Honolulu police officers who ambushed him and made the statement, "Death Row is here." When the plane lands, we are greeted by 20 Honolulu police officers, and they told us that Death Row is here. They tried to hem up. Suge Knight had sent 50 guys to try to break up the show. When we got there, vacation mode was over. We were locking and loading, putting on bulletproof vests with their wives and girlfriends sitting next to them, Big NOS recalled. Tupac's passing. Around 3 p.m. on September 7, 1996, Tupac arrived in Las Vegas with his girlfriend, where he was scheduled to watch a boxing match between his personal friend Mike Tyson and Bruce Sheldon, who held the WNBA heavyweight title for that year. He was also scheduled to perform at Suge Knight's Club 662 after the boxing match. Tupac insisted that his girlfriend and cousin stay behind in the hotel room for their safety. He hit the casino with his bodyguard Frank Alexander and his crew, where he was cashing out on an insane amount of money. By 6:15 p.m., Tupac and his crew headed out to the boxing match at the MGM Grand, where he was attracting a lot of attention from his fans. At around 9 p.m., one of the Death Row associates dragged Tupac to a corner, where he whispered in his ear saying that he had spotted a man that he claimed had robbed him several weeks before the match. The man he spotted was Orlando Anderson, a member of the South Side Crips, rivals of the Mob Piru Bloods gang that Suge Knight was affiliated with. Tupac ran up to Anderson on sight and started throwing punches at him. In seconds, Tupac's crew joined him and gave Anderson the beating of his life. After the incident, Tupac and his crew headed back to the hotel room to change their clothes and head out to Suge Knight's club, where Tupac was to perform. Before heading to the club, they made a quick stop at Knight's mansion, which wasn't too far from Mike Tyson's mansion just up the street. On their way to the club, they stopped at a stoplight while a white Cadillac rolled up to the right side of Suge's BMW, and in the blink of an eye, shots started to fly out the window of the Cadillac. Tupac's bodyguard was driving the Lexus behind Suge and Tupac when the incident happened. Tupac was shot 4 times, and Suge was grazed with a bullet in the head. Elton McDonald, one of Knight's very close associates, also had his Toyota Supra shot at. He chased the white Cadillac, but was unable to get to them. Tupac was hit twice in the chest, once in the thigh and once in the arm. One of the bullets punctured Tupac's lungs, and he was rushed to the University Medical Center of Southern Nevada to undergo 2 emergency operations. His entire right lung had to be removed to prevent internal bleeding, and he was placed in a medically induced coma. While in the coma, Tupac's head was said to have swollen to twice its normal size. His eyes filled with mucus, and a finger on one of his hands was missing. Doctors tried to resuscitate him but were unable to halt the bleeding. At 4:03 p.m. on September 13, 1996, he was pronounced dead. Do you think Eminem got Tupac killed? Do you think Suge Knight wanted to get revenge on Eminem for killing Tupac? Join the conversation and let us know in the comments section below. That's the end of today's video, guys.